So this song that you're listening to right now, it's a piano song, and it's so funny because I got home one day and I was having like a bad day. Like I was just like done. Like I don't want to do ministry. I'm just like, it was one of those days where everything got to you or got to me, and I was just done. And I got home and I walked by the piano downstairs, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like sit down and play for like a few minutes. And so I sit down and I start playing, and what you're listening to is kind of like what started to like develop and like come out. And it was like so weird because it just kind of like it turned into, it's a simple song, but I think you can feel some meaning and some depth behind it. And the reason I say that is because as I was playing it, it was so weird because even though I was having like a bad day and even though I was kind of just playing piano, I felt like the presence of God just started to like fill like that room, and it was like crazy. Like, and as I kept playing, like I was like brought back to remembering when I first got saved and how that felt to experience God for the first time. And it was just kind of crazy. And I'm like, as I'm playing, like I feel like the presence of God just get heavier and heavier. It got to the point where like I literally had to just stop playing, and I just laid down on the floor and I just started crying like under his presence. And I was like, oh my gosh, like here I am having a bad day, not enjoying ministry, and yet God still chooses to like love me. He still chooses to fill me with his presence, and that's just like the goodness of God. And I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know what you're experiencing or what your struggles are or what your circumstances is, but even though you might feel like you're in the fire, God is still in the fire with you. Like his presence is still there for us to access no matter what our circumstances are. God's love for us and him choosing to love us and choosing to fill us with his presence and give us his Holy Spirit isn't contingent on our circumstances, but it's already in us. When we got saved, God chose to make his home inside of us, and he wants to have that relationship with him. And even on those bad days, like go to him. And all I did, I'm not even thinking, to be honest, like many times I make decisions and I look back at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, like God led me to make that decision. It was not an accident that I sat down to play piano. It was not. Like I really feel like the Holy Spirit led me to do that so I could just sit down and turn my brain off and let like the Holy Spirit just minister to me. And many times like that's all it takes. I was talking to one of my friends last week. We had a prayer meeting on a Tuesday, and at the end he told me how he was like walking around and he was praying and he was worshiping, and the Holy Spirit told him, hey, just sit down and like stop moving. And he said he sat down, but even as he sat down, he was like still rocking. He was still kind of moving to the music, and the Holy Spirit told him like, just stop moving. And he said when he stopped moving, he just felt like the presence of God fill him. And so many times in our lives, like we're just so focused on the doing, and we're moving and we're like striving all these things, and all we gotta do is just sit still and just know that he's God and just let him minister us. We're so focused on what we're doing for him that we forget who we're doing it for. We forget that he's a God who wants to do it with us, and he desires that relationship with us before we do anything for him. Like he desires us to have communion with him. He desires for us to hang out and pray and talk to him before we do any of the ministry. Any ministry that we do needs to flow from that anyway. Our works do not produce a relationship with God. Our works is a result. It's the fruit of having a love for him because he loved us first. And so like I said, I don't know what you're going through, but I hope this encouraged you to just stop, sit still, and literally just let God like just minister to you. Like don't focus on how it's gonna happen. Literally, I just sat down, I played piano. I don't even know how like instrumental music is Christian or God glorifying. But I totally think it is, because I did not come up with that. I don't know, like if you're a musician, you're like, oh, that's not even that complicated. I don't care. Every time I play, it's a reminder that God is with me. And so I don't know what that means for you, whether you need to go to a park and take a walk, or you need to just put on some worship music and just stop talking, and I don't know. But just stop, sit still, and just let God minister to you. And that's it. Did I hunch like in the middle? Did I like slowly like?
Do you want me to stop?
I don't know. Yeah, no, stop. I'm not. There's no point in recording this.
Why not?
Why not? Please. How's that?
2 thumbs up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there any parts I should redo?
Nope.
I feel like you're holding back
Nope.
comments.
No, I'm not. I'm really proud of you.
Did I slowly like?
I don't know. I was too busy looking at your handsome face and
So
listening to your words.
make sure you love Jesus too, okay?
You're so handsome.
Great. This went better than I thought it was gonna go.
Cool.
I think it's gonna be a cool first video. How long was that? How long were you on?
It was like 5 minutes long.
5 minutes long. The track is like 3 minutes long. But that's okay.